It's my great pleasure to introduce Gabriel Cardenas, the father of Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Take us back to that day when you first heard that your daughter was involved in this horrible accident and had been airlifted to the hospital. What were your thoughts as a father?
It's very painful because in this case, we didn't know what had happened. The hospital could not reach us until about 10 o'clock at night. Then the phone rang in a neighbor's house. He came over to our house and knocked on the door real loud in a panic, like we didn't know what had happened. We thought it was something wrong with him. As it turned out, he just said that Jackson, where the hospital where Michelle was, had called that we needed to go over there immediately because Michelle was involved in an accident. But they won't tell you any more over the phone or anything. But of course, when we went into the emergency, which actually is not the emergency, but is the live resuscitation area where she was, we saw her there, you know, all strapped and with all kinds of wires, and very painful. She was in a coma completely, and she was gone several times, you know. But we were lucky that she came out of it, little by little. That was the beginning.
Yeah. How long did that take to get so that she was kind of conscious?
No, it took several days before she was conscious. Mm-hmm. And even then, she seemed to be conscious, but she wouldn't remember anything in the hospital, which was like 3.5 weeks.
Right.
But she was in this resuscitation area for close to 36 hours, I believe. You know.
When you say she didn't remember anything in the hospital, what are the things that she didn't remember?
Nothing. It's hard for her to remember.
She remembered who she was.
Well, when she was in the hospital, they would ask her.
Yeah.
One of the requirements to get it out of the resuscitation area into emergency and then into the brain injury area wing was that she had to respond to her name. Yeah. What's your name? And then also to try to remember what date it was. What's today?
Yeah.
And it took her like 3 days before she could, you know, she would guess, you know, what day it was and, you know, where she was, or she wouldn't even answer her name. And of course, she was sleeping or knocked out. Yeah. The first hours, she was just unconscious, totally unconscious.
As a father, not being able to do anything, it must be very painful, excruciatingly painful.
It's very, very difficult to go through that pain. You see your dream, your daughter there. Very difficult. Mm-hmm. That some nut went around and did some stupid thing carelessly and just ruined her life. And you see there, you can't do anything about it. You know, and these people didn't even call to see how is she, or never, you know, in the hospital or at home during these 3 years, never. How is Michelle? Never. Very, very sad.
Yeah. Stuart, what were the extent of her brain injuries?
The doctors consider them moderate to severe. And Michelle has been remarkable. She's worked very, very hard with her mom, with her dad, with her sister, with her brother to get back as much function as possible.
Right.
But she'll never be the same, unfortunately. And it has changed her life forever.
She was a middle school teacher.
Yeah, she was a specialist in literature, English literature.
She loves literature. I was talking to her before the show. Her favorite author is Virginia Woolf.
Yeah. She loves writing poems.
Yes. Now, she cannot teach anymore, but she works with your family business?
Well, she helps a little bit. She doesn't really work a lot because she has still a lot of problems from her brain injury. Some of the problems she has, one of them is short-term memory loss. So she'll forget things that happened yesterday, or things that happened a few hours ago, or that we did this, or how to do this, even though she'll do it every day.
Right. Is she able to go places by herself?
Right now, we're still not. We drive her around. We
Yes.
don't want her to drive yet, and we still drive her around. But she can function partially well.
Right.
The main thing that some of the problems with the brain that she still have is like she has some of the concentration. It's hard for her to concentrate sometimes.
We have her with us today in the studio, and we're going to bring her on right now.